Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today's video is going to be my 2015 beauty favorites. I had actually hoped to get this video up last week. I had recorded it and everything and then lost my memory card. So this is take two. This is a very popular style of video to film, especially right after New Year's. It's basically a roundup of the products that I loved the most during 2015. So I tried to include a combination of both products that were launched in 2015, as well as products I just found myself loving and using the most the past year. It honestly baffles me how fast time is going. Like, I'm gonna be 21 next month. What? So yes, if you'd like to see what products I loved the most and which I think were the best for 2015, stay tuned. First product is definitely not a 2015 launch. It's been around for years, but 2015 was the year that I really discovered my love for this. This is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is probably one of MAC's most popular products. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about it. I picked it up actually probably 2 years ago, but I just really was not impressed with it when I first got it. Most people use it as a primer, and for me, I found my eyeshadow kind of creased and faded throughout the day when I used this. This year, however, I tried it again and really discovered a way that helped it work the best for me. And I definitely love this as just an easy, quick eyeshadow base. So even though this is not technically a primer, I find it works really well when applying it with a fluffier brush as opposed to taking a lot with your finger. When you take a ton of this product with your finger and try and just blend it into the eye, you end up with too much product on the skin, which starts to look really kind of dry and flaky. Also then creases a lot faster. So I like to take a very small amount of this at a time and work it in with just like a fluffy blending brush, and I just work it into the eye. Then I follow by just setting it with a quick powder. Use an eyeshadow. I just use whatever pressed powder I have nearby, and I definitely do think it makes an excellent eyeshadow base. Because of the color, it's really great for neutralizing the skin, counteracting any redness, veins, anything like that, and just creating a nice even base. Next products that I absolutely had to mention were the MAC Extra Dimension eyeshadows. So these have been re-promoted throughout the years, but they made sort of a permanent launch this year. I freaking love these. They are so shimmery, so pigmented, and so smooth. They're honestly just so nice to work with. I honestly think these are one of the softest and creamiest textures of powder shadow that MAC carries. My favorite color is the color Sweet Heat. It's a beautiful kind of champagne. I wore this pretty much every day in the summer. I just kind of threw some on my eyelid for a quick kind of metallic, shimmery, like, I'm trying really hard to be Beyonce, but I'm not, type of look, you know? Next, also from MAC, were, again, products that I didn't love initially until I found a way to really work with them. These were the Electric Cool eyeshadows. I picked these up at the recommendation of my best friend Claudia. When they launched, they had a whole bunch of them launching. They were limited edition, but they do re-promote them every couple of years, so I'm sure they will be back. These are a very unique texture. I would describe the texture of these as the love child between a cream and a powder eyeshadow. So they have kind of that soft cream texture, but they dry to more of a powder finish. My absolute favorite color, which is the color that I'm wearing on my eyelids today, is Pure Flash. It's a gorgeous pale champagne, very shimmery, very sparkly. It's just the easiest color to throw on, put on some mascara, and still look very bright and girly. I personally find they apply best with your fingers. If you try to use a brush, you might not get the best pigmentation possible. Next are the Dior Addict Fluid eyeshadows. These were from the Fall 2015 collection. They were limited edition, but will probably be brought out permanently because they did sell really well. These are basically a liquid metallic eyeshadow. I've talked about these a couple of times before, and I do have a full review for them on my blog, which I'll link below. These are probably the most pigmented metallic eyeshadows I have ever experienced. They make a fantastic base, especially if you're doing a very dramatic metallic eye. They can seem like they're a little bit tricky to work with, but honestly I find them to be super easy. So it comes with a wand applicator. I like to do my darker shading first, apply this to my eye, and then quickly blend it out lightly with my fingertip. And then you can leave it like that or follow with a powder shadow or pressed pigment right over top. My absolute favorite shade is the shade number 825, which I believe was called Aurora. It's a beautiful pink. I did actually find a pretty good dupe for these. It's the Revlon Eye Art Duo. Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art. The colors are not identical matches, but the texture is pretty similar. So if you are looking for something like this, definitely check these ones out. As well for eyeshadows, these are probably one of my favorite launches of the year. H&M recently launched a full beauty line, and I will admit I was very skeptical when I first heard about it. I was like, H&M has $8 eyeshadows. They probably suck. And then I went in, swatched them, and nearly had a heart attack because they are so beautiful. Without a doubt, my favorite color has been the shade Chin Chin. It is a beautiful, sparkly, sort of pearlescent champagne. I mean, can you tell what my favorite color of eyeshadow is? This shade is seriously one of the most beautiful yet unique shades I've ever experienced. I honestly think these are one of the best inexpensive eyeshadows you can get. Next are two eyeshadow sticks. I've been a huge eyeshadow stick fan pretty much since I first started getting into makeup. These ones immediately captured my attention at Sephora. These are the Marc Jacobs Twinkle Pop eyeshadow sticks. They are a very high price point. I think these retail for like 30 something Canadian, which is a little obscene for an eyeshadow stick, but it's Marc Jacobs. So my favorite shade of these is definitely the shade Honey Bunny, and big shocker, it is a shimmery champagne shade. It actually goes perfect with Chin Chin from H&M. Definitely accumulated a lot of eyeshadow palettes throughout the last year because I'm an addict and I have a serious problem. Throughout the past kind of year and a half or so, Stila has been completely revamping their line. So these well-loved palettes were sadly discontinued. You might be able to still find them online, but we can no longer get these here in stores, and they have pretty much been replaced by these ones. So there are 4 palettes in the Eyes Are the Window range. First one that I picked up was the Mind palette. So this was very similar to the, I think it was In the Know palette of this range. Gotta be careful when showing you because I did drop it and break a color. Stila eyeshadows are honestly, I think, one of the best on the market. They are so pigmented, so smooth, and so blendable. Mind palette is all matte, so there's no shimmer or sparkly shades whatsoever. I think this is a great palette for any makeup artist, especially because you've got a great arrangement of blending shades. Next for eyeshadow palettes, this should come as no surprise. This is the Morphe 350 palette. This has been raved about for the past year, especially by the big YouTubers like Jaclyn Hill, Manny, Patrick Star, all of them. And when I first saw it, I thought it was maybe a little bit overhyped, especially seeing the price point. And then I saw them use it in videos and I fell in love. This is by far one of the best eyeshadow palettes I have ever experienced in my life. Pretty much every single warm tone shade you could ever need in your life. If you're wondering whether this palette is really as good as all of the YouTubers say it is, yes. Seriously, 100 times yes. Last but not least for eyes, my favorite mascara of the year is definitely the Benefit Rollerlash. It's one of the only mascaras that will really lengthen and curl my lashes and keep them curled all day long. And it was actually the first Benefit mascara I tried. It was love at first swipe. This one is curved, which is really great for helping to curl and lift the eyelashes. If you do have really straight eyelashes, I personally think you'll still need to curl them. I don't really agree with the claim that you won't need your eyelash curler anymore with this, but when I do curl them beforehand, it just makes this work even better. Moving on to the face, my first absolute favorite face product for 2015 was definitely the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. Again, this is another one that has been hyped up like crazy. It's one of the best-selling contour palettes on the market right now, and it is. The textures of this palette are so smooth and blendable. They really do look natural on the skin. It blends like a dream. If you are new to contouring and you're willing to spend a little bit more money, this will make learning so much easier. Next is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. The textures of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders are unlike anything I have ever used. They are so finely milled, so silky, so smooth. They really do not look like powder on the skin. But personally, my favorite way to use these is to mix these two shades here. I like to use this after very lightly setting my under eye concealer, and I will just take it like this and lightly sweep it. What this does for me is it really helps bring some luminosity and life back to my under eye area. Next is the Stila Stay All Day Contouring Bronzer for Face and Body. This launched this year, actually just a few months ago. It is a gigantic bronzer, comes in 2 different shades. This is an amazing bronzer for people who don't want to be too shimmery or who want a bronzer that will also double as a soft contour. So the lighter shade is definitely a little on the warmer side. I think it's the medium shade, is perfect for contouring. It's a little bit more of that cooler tone. Are a very soft, natural looking bronzer. It's perfect for adding some warmth and dimension to the face without looking like a Cheeto. This is one of those that's great to travel with because, again, it's that kind of two-in-one deal. The next two products I'm sure will come as no surprise, and I'm also pretty sure nearly everyone has mentioned them in their 2015 favorites. These are the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors. 2015 was the year of Champagne Pop. So Champagne Pop launched in July, I believe it was, and it completely took the internet by storm. It is a beautiful pale champagne gold highlight. Such a silky, creamy texture. I really think it's beautiful. Shimmering. Oh my god! Shimmering. Oh my god! Oh my god. It's fine. We're fine. The patient is stabilized. Crisis averted. As I was saying, only complaint that I have is when I am particularly pale, it's a little too gold for me. But that was solved this winter when they launched the Champagne Pop palette. So this was a limited edition palette that features 3 shades: Pearl, Champagne Pop, and Blushed Copper. Because it's beautiful and it's awesome to travel with. That is, if you have the guts to travel with it and you're not crippled by fear of breaking or damaging it. I'm obsessed with mixing Pearl and Champagne Pop together, which is my glow today. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Another Becca product, because I have just been obsessed with getting that Becca glow, is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid, I think it's called. This is in the shade Opal. These were the smaller sizes. I picked these up from Sephora. This is so perfect for creating that very natural but glowy complexion. After my concealer and foundation, I will take a little bit of this with my finger and tap it right along here. Always makes my skin look so much more healthy, so much more youthful and vibrant. Lastly, for face products, I have a foundation and a concealer. Both are actually Estee Lauder. The first is the Double Wear Concealer. This is a very stiff, full coverage concealer, and it does come in a little pot like this. I honestly think this is one of the best concealers you can get for blemishes, scars, pigmentation, or anything like that. You need the tiniest little amount of this. I've been using this on a daily basis for over 6 months now, and I have barely made a dent in it. It offers amazing coverage. It is super long wearing, especially when you set it with a powder. Next is the Double Wear To Go foundation. It's very rare that I find a foundation I love. This is definitely the exception. This foundation is basically ideal for someone who is more dry skinned. Typically the Double Wear formulas are very dry and more matte. This one is a very radiant, kind of glowy finish. Firstly, I definitely had to mention the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipsticks. So in the summer collection they launched, I think it was like 6 shades or so. I picked up 3. First one I definitely had to mention was the shade Como. It's a beautiful bright purple. I think they are one of the best formulas out there. They're very opaque, very pigmented, very long lasting. This one, for example, one little swatch gives you full pigmentation. The other 2 shades that I picked up were Venezia, which is sort of a reddish coral, and Rosa, which is a very pale pink. To be honest, Rosa looks kind of disgusting on the lips. It's a very, very pale pink. It almost looks kind of like chalky milkshake. But the reason I think this is a great product to have is because it's perfect for mixing. So for example, take some purple, add some Rosa to it, and then you can use a lip brush or you can just use your fingers. But you can create a totally new shade with it. The last Stila liquid lipstick has probably been my favorite of the year. This is the shade Bacci, which did launch in their holiday collection. It is a cooler toned pinky nude. So initially on me, when I first apply it, it looks almost kind of like a gray pink, but as it oxidizes, it kind of adjusts to your skin tone. So it looks different on everyone. It's just beautiful, and I am so glad that they're making them permanent because this little one will not last me long enough. This is the Clarins Rouge Eclat lipstick in the shade 18 Strawberry Sorbet. I fell in love with these at the beginning of 2015. So in the winter when my lips were so dry and I just did not want to deal with a very intense like matte lipstick. The Rouge Eclat line is beautiful for a very kind of buttery, creamy lipstick that really makes your lips look nice and healthy and moisturized. This particular shade is a gorgeous pink. It does have a tiny bit of sparkle to it, but the sparkle doesn't show up on the lip. It just looks very moisturized and healthy. Also by Clarins, this is my last favorite, but definitely not least. These are the Instant Light Lip Perfectors. I honestly think they're one of the best lip glosses on the market. They are a little pricier than say like the NYX Butter glosses, which are also awesome, but I just haven't found any lip glosses that are exactly like, not only do they smell like cake, I mean, I don't know about you, but I would love to smell like delicious baked goods at all times. So the colors show up so beautifully on the lips, and they do actually reflect the light in a way that helps make your lips look more luscious and full. My favorite shade of all time is shade number 4. It's a gorgeous baby pink. The other two shades that I do really love are number 2, which is a little bit more of a peachy pink, and shade number 5, which is a brighter, more true pink. I love to wear this shade, especially paired with like a nude lip and a smoky eye. These are a lip gloss that I will probably be repurchasing until the end of time. So Clarins, if you ever discontinue these, I will riot. Seriously, I will start fires, I will cry, I will be so upset. I mean, maybe I won't start fires, but so yeah. That's pretty much it. Those were most of my favorite makeup products throughout 2015. I have found a few new ones in the last couple of weeks, which I'm sure will be in my next year's favorites. Also, thank you again to everyone who entered my holiday giveaway. I wish I could give it to every single one of you, but sadly, I cannot afford that. Make sure you stay tuned. I do have a lot more fun giveaways planned, including maybe a Kat Von D palette. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.